Dear viewers, I'm Diego James Savila and one of the creators of this CAS project of videos about mental health. This video is going to be about bullying, and we're going to provide some studies and solutions towards this situation, which dreadfully affects our society and our schooling every day. So by definition, we can determine that bullying could be something like more repeatedly and intentionally you would use words or actions against an individual or group to cause distress on them, like targeting. A targeted action that would cause distress on them. And mostly these actions are done by people with more power, more influence than someone else's, making this person feel helpless about their situation. It could be a teacher, a popular student. It doesn't matter what the situation is, as long as it is a person with more influence. There are different types, as you can see. Physical, which consists in actions like beating up, kicking, or punching the person. Verbal, which consists in mocking, threatening the person, name calling them. Social would be like more exclusion, spreading rumors about that person. Or cyberbullying, which would involve text messages, emails, etc., to like sending threats by email or anything in order to damage their reputation. And there are other types that target a specific aspect about that person, such as racial, religious, by disability, or sexual bullying. It could be due to a different ethnicity, a different race, a different religion that is not according to theirs. A disability that could be seen as something such a handicap. And sexual, towards the sexuality of the person, towards the way the person behaves sexually, and rumors about this person's sexuality. In this video, I want to focus more on school bullying, since this is one of the places in which our peers have confronted this type of situation the most, and also because although schools must have, and most of them have, a behavior policy in which there are measures to prevent and confront bullying among pupils, these actions mostly occur in unstructured or unvigilated areas, such as playgrounds, cafeterias. Maybe they occur at unvigilated classrooms, and most of the times it could happen in covert ways, not always explicit. Bullies might come from different spaces, different faces, but in this case, pure bullies are often stronger, they're healthy children, and they're also competent in emotion recognition, what is important in order for them to know that the action has been already concreted. However, most of them might come from an abusive household. Maybe they could be victim of a punitive parent behavior, or basically being ignored by the parent at home, and also they might be looking for an external attention or reflecting their own insecurities. Part of these bullies could be also the ones who have suffered bullying from before, and these tend to be impulsive, more easily provoked than the pure bullies, much lower in self-esteem, poor at understanding social cues. Therefore, it has also been demonstrated that they're more likely to come from dysfunctional families. The results from a study on bullying in northern Sweden had been published, and In this study, students from 9 public schools and 4 independent schools had been surveyed, and the results were part of the next. Only 15%, only around 15% of these students had been bullied only in real life, with the girls having a 5% rate higher than the boys. Only 17.2 were online only, with the boys at a similar rate as girls were. The ones who had been bullied in both is even more worrying, which is 19.6%, almost 20%. However, the content could be even more worrying, since around 46.6% of the bullied had suffered from bullying related to body image. 26.8 of the bullied had been suffering discrimination in school, specifically inside the school premises. 22.9% had suffered from teacher bullying, which is even worrying in a country which is a developed country and in which public school is relatively of a high quality. As well, around 50.7% of these had bullied students had been with low teacher support. After these results, the conclusions that had been taken from this experiment were that there is no gender patterning of exposure to these depressive symptoms that are caused by bullying, especially if it's a combination between in real life bullying and cyberbullying, which is more prevalent in younger girls than older, especially since in this era of social media, the younger girls are having higher access to this. As well, there is more homophobic bullying and cyberbullying towards male, and more sexual bullying towards girls rather than boys, and which has not changed in most countries. Part of the impact that bullying itself has on mental health is that any type of bullying can generate depressive symptoms, students to miss school voluntarily, also the self-exclusion, or that they might be excluded from any activity, and also, and which is the most worrying, self-harm attempts, which can cause a detrimental part on their pathway in the worst case scenario. In the long run term, other part of impact of bullying could be other impacts could be instability in relationship. It doesn't matter what type. It could be love relationship, friend relationship, or something. It could be causing unemployment due to a PTSD or due to any other sequels of bullying. But also, it could turn the person to commit or also be a victim of domestic violence, because that would be the only way to get over it. So part of the solutions and the way we could prevent bullying is to encourage open communication among parents and children, since an open communication is door to a better way to understand your child, to understand his or her point of view, their point of view. Also, it is important that you as a parent or as a teacher or as a friend pay attention to the warning signs, such as unexplainable injuries that you could see, your loved one losing interest in school out of nowhere. Also, if you are a person who suffers from bullying, but if you have a friend who suffers from that or a relative who is, seek for professional help, which will contribute to their growth in this. Always, as a parent, you should, and also as a teacher, you should reward the positive behavior of your children, especially after they have suffered from bullying. It is a signal that they're trying to get over it. And also, as a teacher, monitor the hot. It is important to monitor the hotspots because these are areas in which children hang around the most, and also in which children are more prone to be victims of bullying.